Hey my friends, what's going on? It's Ultimus, and with more 3v3 and this with you tonight. Made the silly mistake of calling this Thundercleave. I kid you not, the whole time, for whatever reason, even while I was playing with these games, I just assumed that my shaman was playing enhancement, and it's my fault for not paying attention. So it was brought to my attention that it wasn't Thundercleave, and felt like an idiot, but I got a good laugh at myself. Needless to say, here up against a KFC Cleave with a Survival Hunter instead of a Beast Mastery Hunter, putting them at a slight disadvantage. Beast Mastery tends to be the spec of choice, and Fury tends to work a lot better with KFC as it is. So they're at a slight disadvantage here. Wanting to keep the pressure going there, so I did pop cooldowns with Blade Storm early to kind of get some pressure going on them. Saving my Fear for a little bit here. Normally I like to Fear in the openings, but since they didn't have that Rogue or any Stealthy, I decided to save it. I did pop it there to try to get the Hunter off a little bit. Pretty much pumping all of my damage into the Warrior. The Warrior is, at least comparatively speaking, the easiest kill target and the best kill target here. So we're going to keep the pressure rolling, and we are going to land the kill real quick here. I'm going to try to get back on top of the Warrior. The Hunter is actually going to blast me away with his explosive trap, but I'm able to get back on the Warrior with charge, which is one of the big reasons I like to save charge and not just waste it willy-nilly, because it puts me in positions like that to be able to keep the pressure on and get back on targets. I love, love, love playing with healers that allow me to play as aggressively as I want to and need to. And I know my healers as well, they're counting on me to know when to play aggressively and when to play defensively. And while I can admit that I have a lot of work in that area as a player and as a warrior to know when to play defensively, a little more reserved, and when to push in and stuff like that. In general, I do have a fairly aggressive play style, and so it's really cool playing with healers like this Holy Paladin here, who let me play aggressively. I just really like it, so that's always fun. Now, this time up against a Frost Mage Balanced Druid Holy Paladin combo. I believe this is known as Frozen Chicken Cleave. I don't know. We have to have a name for everything with Cleave after the end of it, so it is what it is. Mage is the kill target while being terrified of the Boomy. I did waste my Fear there in the opener, as you saw. Again, tends to allow me a little bit more wiggle room. We got 2 trinkets out of them already. Unfortunately, they've got a couple trinkets out of us. So, took Mass Spell Reflect for obvious reasons in this comp. Lots of stuff to reflect here. So, wanted to make sure we're keeping up on that. Trying to keep the pressure going on the mage as best as possible while keeping an eye on my enemy targets, so I'm able to switch to potential optimum second targets. So often it's very dangerous thing to follow your main target all the way around the map while you're letting other potential targets slip on by. Sometimes it's better just to swap. Sometimes it's better just to get the hard swap on stuff. And so, especially if they're standing close enough where instead of walking all the way around, you can just swap targets real quickly. Here, taking advantage of the fact that their stacks up, trying to keep that cleave damage going as well. Cooldowns are going. Got the Root Interruption going. Sweeping Strikes is going as well. The Paladin's going to back away for a little bit, and I'm taking so much damage from the Boomy. When I'm up against fights like this with the Frost Mage and even the Boomy, I feel like it's such a hard choice for me. Because I feel like no matter who I let free cast, I'm just going to do or take so much damage. But in this particular case, I really don't want to let them get the polys off. Because those are a little bit more dangerous to me, at least, than the Cyclones. Because at least in the Cyclones, you're pretty much immune from everything. And polys are able to set up really clutch CC and stuff like that as well as take a little bit of damage while you're in it. Getting some nice reflex here, very happy. Keeping some damage mitigated off of me, so it makes it a little bit easier for my healer. Earlier in the match, I did pop Enrage Regeneration to try to prevent what I thought was going to be some burst, but that was wasted prematurely, so I'm down Enrage Regen for a bit here, which kind of sucks. The Mage is getting very, very low, and eventually he will get bopped right here, as you'll see. I'm just going to kind of sit on him, because there's really nothing for me to swap to at the moment, so I'm just going to kind of chill here, wait for the bop to fade off, switching to the Paladin as he walks over. So instead of wasting my charge there, I'm waiting for the Paladin to walk over, swapping back to the Mage. So the Paladin has still got some damage on him, not really healing himself, which is good for us, because eventually we're going to make a really clutch swap, and the Paladin's going to be in a very dicey situation that he's not going to be able to recover from, which is, again, excellent. Interrupt to the poly, that's the main thing I want to interrupt. Like, I feel like if there's one thing I do in this game aside from just damage, it's interrupt polys. I know the Shaman can do it, but I feel like since I'm sitting on the Mage so hard, I'm in the best place to do it as best as possible. So leaping to stay on top of the Mage here, he's going to Ice Block, get that going. We're going to swap over to the Paladin because the Paladin had saved by the light proc, so he has nothing. He's got bubble up, but he can't use it because of forbearance. It's wonderful. That Paladin was still so low, and he had nothing to do to keep himself alive. I love swaps like that. Excellent, and to a really fun game, I thought, considering I thought for sure we were going to lose that one. In this third match, up against a Survival Hunter, Assassination Rogue, and Restoration Druid. A variation of Thundercleave, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I am going to sit hard on that Rogue with a Fear as an opener, just wanting to go crazy. So cooldowns are up, Bladestormer's going. I don't really want to get caught in any Cyclones. I'm just trying to punish this Rogue for sitting so hard out here in the open and not playing so defensively. We got a few cooldowns out of the Rogue, which is good stuff. And we got a couple out of the Druid as well. Nothing popped from the Hunter, so the exchange is going fairly well. I'm in a rough spot because I've already wasted quite a few cooldowns to survive, but I'm fairly confident my healer will keep me alive. Wasted my trinket there to get out of that, to sit back on top of the Druid, or sorry, Rogue. Wanted to make sure I keep bleeds up on him. I don't really want to give him an open invitation to re-stealth and reset his fight. So just sitting so hard, wanted to pump the damage in, and there we go. The Druid was way out of line, caught in that stun for just a little bit, and then of course we were able to line up that kill on the Rogue very, very nicely, putting us in a great way to finish this match up. Again, always try to at least be smart, simply because while it's not very likely that the Survival Hunter and Resto Druid are going to come back and beat us, I suppose anything's possible if you know what you're doing. So very happy with how this third match went, especially considering I tend to do very, very poorly against Rogues and Hunters together. They just tend to destroy me. In this last match, we're up against a WLS instead of the Shaman, of course, with a Mistweaver. With all things considered, I think when I play WLS, I actually prefer it with the Mistweaver Shaman as it is. Or sorry, Mistweaver Shaman. Ha ha, laughing at yourself. Mistweaver Monk. Shamans are great. Don't get me wrong, but something about a Mistweaver Monk I just love, love, love. Wanting to sit on the Warlock as our main kill target, stun on that Mistweaver over there, who he did end up getting out of that. Popped a couple cooldowns from the Mistweaver, got a couple out of the Warlock as well, which is quite nice. Nothing out of the Warrior yet, but that's okay because they're not really sitting on the Warrior, so I'm okay with that trade-off. Taking advantage of them both being stacked up. There's the Bladestorm going in, just going ham on this Warlock. Got the Warlock to get cocooned by the Mistweaver, so swapping to the Mistweaver before I got caught in that stun. I'm trying to reflect and counter as many casts as I can. I don't want the Warlock free casting. Luckily, we were able to secure that kill between the damage going in on the Mistweaver. He had nothing left to keep himself alive, at least that he wanted to use. Securing us the victory. Very, very happy with this overall, because this is the comp where the longer you let this match go on, the more likely the WLS is to win. And so for us, we want to make sure we're able to end this game quick. And between Elemental Shaman Burst and Warrior Burst, it's very possible to. You just have to get the right setup. And in this particular case, we did land the good setup. We outplayed them, and I was very, very happy with this match in particular. So that's going to do it for these matches, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed them. I'm hoping to bring you guys more 3v3 arenas very, very soon, even if it is with this particular team again. I had a blast playing with them, so if either of you guys ever stumble upon this video, thank you for the games. Hopefully we can make it happen again and get some good rating push out of it. I had a blast, but needless to say, as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you did enjoy. Give the video a share if you're into that sort of thing, and I'll catch you next time.